Hello everybody, I am Nu-Trix, and today I'm talking about when should you choose to repair or not yourself your Mac. I am a very do-it-yourself kind of guy. I like to fix things, anything I have, if I can, I will fix it. I have been more than inclined to open my Mac Mini and change the hard drive, the RAM, and sometimes the hard drive is behind everything else, so you have to take everything out. So I did that on multiple different Macs. Some iMacs I did at one point, but it's kind of harder because you need to pull up the screen and then pull some parts out of it to get to the back. So not everybody wants to do it, and I understand that. But I'll tell you about the fact that 2 weeks ago, my MacBook Pro, which is a 2015, mid-15 i7. So an i7 is still a very potent computer today. Of course, the M1 and M2 is way better, blah, blah, blah. But still, this does the job for a lot of things that I can do. And until I cannot do it, I'm going to stick with that. And I'm probably going to keep it as a second computer at one point, like I have an older Mac Mini i5. I have this i7 and I have the i5. So, that's how I look at it. But the problem I had a week ago was it was bloated. And I don't mean too much stuff on the hard drive. I mean physically bloated. The undercover was bent. The lid could not close totally because it was all, the keys themselves were just bent. Not and a lot when you look at it, but you look at it, you go, this is wrong. This is just wrong. So my battery was getting bigger and bigger. There was a reaction. So it's not something that happens too often, but it does happen. And actually, this computer is the second time I changed the battery. The first time was basically the battery did not charge anymore, which is something that happens because you use a laptop. It's normal. But this time, the iOS, the OS itself did not tell me any type of error from the battery. Like it did work and charge and, provide power enough so it works normally. But physically, it was so bloated that even the 4 little pegs at the bottom did not touch the desk if I put it on the desk. It was just kind of wobbling on the bulge that it was under it. So then you go, okay, I have to do something because at one point it's just going to, burst and the acid battery is going to, go on my CPU and all that stuff, and it's just going to be wasted. So what do I do? First, my reaction is I'm going to look online and I'm going to find a website where I can find the battery. One place I like to look is, it used to be called Outer World Computing. Now it's just maxell.com, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to put the link there. And not linked to me, but I've been using that website for so many years. I know that what they sell, they've got used Macs, they've got used devices, Apple stuff, and they have all sort of hardware to upgrade any possible upgrade you can have on a Mac. And for each of them, and that's the really important part, every time I'm wondering if I want to fix something myself, like changing RAM, which is not really a fix, it's just an easy upgrade. But let's say I had a fan on my Mac Mini that was dead. I needed a new fan. I bought the new fan. And sometimes it's not even from them that I bought it, but on their website, they explain how to do it. And I think that's the most important part, because one of the reasons you should decide to fix or not, or upgrade or not, your own device yourself is how difficult it is. And I cannot just tell you, on the Mac, it's this. On the MacBook Pro, it's that. No, it depends on the year and the model that you have. Now, all the new ones, the M1s and the M2, and for the last, I think, 3 years, everything is soldered. There's nothing you can change in it. So when a Mac, let's say you buy a Mac Pro M1 today, if something fails in it, they're going to replace the whole internal part. You're going to get a new computer, basically. That's it. Going to have a better deal because they're going to change some parts, but it's still going to be mostly getting a new computer, the internal at least, if let's say you drop water in your laptop. Now, this one if you go on that website, you look on the model you have, and if you don't know how to find it, you go on your Apple and you look. Oh, well, you might say, well, my computer's dead. I cannot get to the Apple and look at the model. Well, on the model itself, there's always the information on it physically, and there's a number here, so you can go on Apple website and type your model, or even on Maxell.com, and then you look at the model itself. In my case, this is oh my God, my eyes are so bad. This is a A1398, if I read correctly. And then you find that in the list, and it will tell you that this model can be fully upgradable. I can change almost every part on this one. So, okay, I can change the battery. The battery is about $100, $150, depending on the model. You look on where you find it online. But then, when you look at the difficulty for it, this is advanced, which means the battery is actually glued to the keyboard inside the the whole metal case here. So over the battery, you've got the motherboard and all the chips and the cards and the expansion and the outputs and all that stuff, and then the hard drive and the RAM. So everything is just on the other side of that. So if I had to change it, I have to basically open this thing up, take everything out, and then unglue it from the keyboard. Then I need to glue the new battery and reconnect everything and hope that it still works. So it's too sensitive for me to do that and be sure that it will survive. And I want this computer to work. I won't do it, basically. So what's the next step? Look for a place to fix it. First thing you should look, you download Apple's support app. It's the blue app. You basically turn that on, and it will log on to your account, and it will tell you what are the devices that are logged with your name. So I've got all my machines there, and you can click on the device that you find doesn't work well, and then it asks you what type of problem you have, because there's a lot of Q&A that they can send you to. Okay, you have this problem, check this. Does it have the PRAM? There's a lot of things you can do yourself before going to the store. But at one point, you get to a point that they say, okay, it's not covered with warranty anymore. This is a 2015 computer, but it's still serviceable. They can still service it. They still have the parts for it, and they can still repair it. So basically, next step is get a meeting at the closest Apple repair shop. In my case, it was the Apple store close to my place. And they're going to evaluate what has to be done. I get to the place, show that to the Apple Genius Bar. The guys look at me and go, okay, we have to change this, And the way they change it, and that's really interesting, because it's glued to the under part of this, they say they're going to change the whole section here. This whole top section is going to be replaced. And actually, it is replaced. This is all new. So I've got a new keyboard. I've got a new pad. I've got a new, the new top here, because it was actually bent. And the new battery is glued on it. So all that section is new. So what they do is they take everything apart. They keep my old screen. Everything the inside is my old inside. They repackage it together. They change the whole thing. They reassemble it. I go back 1 week after, boot it up, works everything works correctly. I go back here and I connect it to I've got different licenses here for my different software and plugins. And the great thing that they actually keep everything in it, it's not a new computer, is that a lot of authorization of the plugins and software that I have are linked to the hardware of this device. Either I've got an iLock key that says, it's going to work on the iLock, or it's authorized to this hard drive, or authorized to this MAC address on this, which is specific to this motherboard. So if I change motherboard, I say it's a new computer. So I might lose licenses if I would have to change the hardware, which is not the case. It's just the battery. And at the same time, I've got a new keyboard and a new pad, and it works really well. It's really well done. So how much did it cost me? Actually, with tax, $295 Canadian. So between buying one for $150 and doing it myself and not be sure that it works, or having it replaced for like $295, my Mac is back to normal. It fits, it works really well. It's not even that's the old undercover that you have here, but now it has the right shape, which is great. And I'm just happy that, of course, I wish I didn't have any problem, but I'm happy that I was able to repair it and have something that it looks almost new, So that's it. When you're not sure, go check. First of all, go check on the Apple Support app. It's going to get a lot of pointers to what you can do. And then if it goes further, you actually can go to the Apple Store, check what you can do. If they would have told me that this was like unreplaceable, or it cost me, I don't know, $600 or $700 or $800, I would have say, I'm going to still try to do my own switch with the battery. If I can do it, I'm going to have a new laptop. I actually extend my life on my laptop. And if I was not able to do it, then so be it. I would have to buy a new one. But at least I would have tried after knowing that it's too much to pay. But in this case, it was just the right amount, and it's just back to normal. That's it. That's it for now. See you soon.